Hi, so I'm Jennifer. How old am I? 40, 47 years old, retired teacher, and I am living with cancer. So I was diagnosed with kidney cancer 2018.
Yeah, wow.
And it metastasised. That's the worry that everyone has, that it comes back. It came back. But I'm presently living with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is life like for you as a stage 4 cancer patient?
Life. When I was diagnosed the first time, it was like, right, gonna beat this thing, you know, because you always hear about beating cancer. And but the second time round, that emotionally got me. And I would say, I cried, I cried, I cried, I cried. I don't cry anymore. 2019 was the last time that I cried, because for me it's about survival, live in the moment, and it made me realise how precious life was. And it's not about the things that you have, the achievements that you've made, it's about what is life really about? Why are we here on this earth? And, you know, anything I do doesn't define me. It's about being surrounded by the people that you love, the friends, the family. That's what's important to me.
Yeah.
Nothing else, to be honest with you. And life is about making memories. Here right now is a memory, you know, and I'm just glad that I'm here, because I nearly didn't make it today. And I've had many of those moments. I never know what each day is going to be like for me. But right now, I live in the moment. And that's how I deal with it. I live in the moment as positively as I can. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
I just think with stage 4 cancer, it's so sort of like misunderstood, particularly like I think in our community, people automatically think, okay, stage 4 cancer, terminal cancer, as people have. There's so many terms for it. Terminal, stage 4, living with, okay, advanced cancer. You know, for you, having also now you run support groups for us.
Yes.
You know, you run all the support groups for us. You hold space for so many people. And you've got a real good insight into the cancer world, you know, as somebody who's in it and looking after people and stuff like that. What more needs to be done for people who are diagnosed with stage 4? Because we know that there's a huge gap and they're often felt unseen, unheard. What more needs to be done?
I think what it is, I think it's about us changing the dynamics of our society. You know, for black women, for black people, we don't tend to be very open with things. We hide a lot of things. Like we most probably have family members and friends that have died from cancer and we don't know about it.
Yeah, it's true.
So for me, I've got a daughter. She's my only one. And despite the fact that she's 24, I worry. But what I'm trying to do is instill in her and all the young people around me about how important it is to look after yourself. And I'm, again, fit, healthy, ate well. You know, it doesn't make a difference. Cancer it doesn't discriminate, as you know. But it's just raising an awareness of how important looking after yourself internally, mentally as well, and physically. So I think it's about being as open. So being a teacher, we learned, you know, I did a lot of science and I taught a lot of the kids science, but we didn't speak about cancer. And there was a point where I remember there was a student whose parent had cancer, and they were like, Jen, can you go and speak to this child? Because it's like, again, these kids don't know what it is. They just think it's death, you know.
Yeah.
And again, I'm in the grey area. When you get cancer, you either recover or you die. And I'm in the grey area. And this is what it looks like. And there's many people like me who are living with cancer, who have been living with it for 20 odd years
Absolutely.
or more.
I keep
You know,
reading,
yes,
yeah.
the mark for me was 5 years. It's now
Yeah.
6 years and I'm still here.
Yeah.
So it's
Amen.
living in the moment. Living in the moment. So I would say, you know, a lot of us shy away telling our children or speaking to our children, but I think it's raising awareness from as young as they are able to understand, because so many people are now dying or getting cancer, and when you're going through that journey, sometimes your body physically changes. So again, you know, you're trying to hide away, but young people, they're not stupid. They know that something's going on. They go and they'll look things up, and they will get an idea that, you know, someone has possibly got cancer. So I think for me, it's about us being a little bit more open, starting from now, you know, our young people, the people in our lives, because cancer has hit a lot of people. My daughter was exposed to it from when she was 6 years old, because I lost a best friend. I've lost a lot of people from it. So she's been exposed for a very long time and has that awareness. And I think we need to do that in general.
But I think, like you said, like people are going to be watching this and they're going to go, oh, she doesn't look like she's got cancer. This is something that is like, you know, there's like this misconception of like what someone needs to look like. What do you need to be doing to suffer? I've heard that even in like, sometimes people have gone into like, you know, the medical institution or the hospital or whatever, and they're like, you don't look ill. And it's like, actually, that's something that's always used for, I think, all the time for black women.
Do you know, this year's been a weird one for me, because I have always been a slim person, but there was a point where I nearly died as well, because one of the treatment I was on didn't have a good effect on me. So I was in hospital, ended up on steroids, and I put on a lot of weight, and then I went back to my normal size again. So I would say earlier this year, I looked really ill. You know, I looked really ill because despite the fact that I'm living with cancer, what happens is you take the treatment, but then it brings on other ailments, you know. So I am popping the pills for a lady that didn't take tablets for a headache. I am popping the pills right now. But yeah, you get people saying, oh, you look well. And then there's times where I know I'm not looking well, and then you worry about it. You know, you worry about losing the weight. You worry about a lot of things. But right now, I think what it is I think for me, like I said, I'm living the now, the present. I do stress a little bit about the future, but I've roped myself in to be very mindful about living the moment. Mindfulness is so good. I just recently did a course. Mindful. So I'm living the moment. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm planning for the future. So I plan all my positive things. I love traveling. I wasn't able to travel this year, but I'm traveling all my things for next year, and I always achieve those things. And I'm just happy.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be around good people. And I've been very blessed that I've got a good network of friends, good family.
Yeah, you do.
Black Women Rising have been my whole support.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about a lot of other cancers as well.
Yeah.
You know, and my best friend died from breast cancer a couple of years ago. It's been hard, but I'm here and I'm living the moment and I'm sharing what I can, and I'm supporting where I can. And that's the most important thing. And I'm at peace. I'm not scared of death. You know, I'm prepared. I'm ready. I've done my LPA, I've done my will, but I did all of that beforehand, you know, and I think it's very important to prepare yourself the best that you can, but we're on this earth, we don't know when. Our time is limited to a certain point. And my life, what is my purpose? My purpose is just being me, being surrounded by amazing people and supporting the people that I can be, being a mother. And I think I'm a good friend as well. So I always say to friends, because I've got cancer, it doesn't mean that you can't come to me and share your problems, because I think that was another thing people were scared about. So yeah, I'm just living the moment, Leanne. That's all I can do. And I don't stress about death.
No.
I don't stress about what if. I just do what I can do the best way that I can.
I just love you so much, man. I just think, like, I knew this about you the moment, like, I met you in Peckham, you know, like, the spirit that you've had. You've outlived, you know, your prognosis 100%, and which is fantastic. But I think one of the things that's brought you to there as well is your mind. Like, they always say, like, that mind is half the battle, you know, a lot of the time. And your positivity and the way you think about life, it's not toxic. it's actually really real, because you're actually one of the most honest people that I know, straight up. And, you know, you just tell it as it is, but at the same time, there is this positivity there. And I know that you've got a great support network, and I know that you've got all these amazing people around you, but you have that because that's what you do to other people. And so the amazing joy and the strength that you bring to Black Women Rising and the women that you work with is echoed through there as well. And it's funny because people don't even think, we was having this conversation the other day, they don't even think that, you know, Jenny's got a diagnosis. They don't, because they're looking for you for support, because that's what you do. You put yourself aside and you use those skills to help others. And that's what I love so much about you. And you're such an inspiration for all of us.
And I don't want to scare the women. I don't want to scare anyone, because it's hard, you know, like I'm so happy when women have told me that, you know, they've reached their 5-year and everything's good, you know, no disclosure and, you know, no evidence, of cancer. And it just makes me happy. So I'm living, you know, for you also, like, you know, obviously I decided to do early ill health because I needed to live, I needed to get my pension, you know, being a teacher, working so hard and all the stresses. It's like, this is me time now. So you have to put yourself first. It's so important. And I can only look after myself first than to be there for everyone else. And Black Women Rising, you know, when I stopped working, and I remember you said to me, oh, Jen, would you like to do such and such? And I was like, oh my gosh, I've now got a purpose that I can support where I can. And it helps me to live my life. It brings happiness to me. I know, you know, because I've got a new family and there's women around that understand what we're going through, how we're going through, and it just serves a purpose, what you're doing, what we're doing.
And we do it together.
We do it together, and it's just
it works.
amazing. It works.
And it helps all these hundreds of women that have come through the doors, you know. So thank you. Thank you, Jenny.